Did you know that all boats rise at the same time when the tide comes in? Yes, this is very true in the crypto space. When Bitcoin has a lot of buyers, sellers, and price changes, altcoins usually follow suit within a certain amount of time. To get a good idea of what's likely to happen with XRP as well, we're going to talk in depth about what's coming for Bitcoin today with Jeff Booth. Following a number of different models from the past, I also think that Jeff Booth, a great analyst who gives a lot of unique views into the world of crypto and Bitcoin, will be very helpful to you XRP holders once we start to figure out what's going on and learn more about it over the next 6 months. That being said, I'm going to play this clip first and then we'll break it down and then go into more detail about XRP because that's what he mostly talks about, which is Bitcoin. That's the only thing that will. Over time, it will change the prices of everything else. If you thought prices would go up, it makes sense to trust someone else with your Bitcoin, right? Because people should be able to trust the government. But every time you do that, you're not just taking yourself out of the picture. In a sense, you're giving someone else your Bitcoin, which is not your Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the only thing there is. It's up to you whether you want to be on it or not. You'll be charged more to buy it if you don't pick it, yes? I'm obviously very optimistic about Bitcoin, but I want to tell you of one thing. The price of a Bitcoin coin has gone from $50,000, 0 cents, to $111,000, 0 cents in the last 7 or 8 months. I'm sorry, it was a little longer than that. Still, it did happen during that time period. Over the course of just 2 months, from November to December, the price of XRP went from 40 cents to over $3, 0 cents, yes? In Bitcoin, there are bursts of liquidity. Money moves first into Bitcoin, then into XRP, Solana, and other large-cap altcoins, whether you like it or not. Then there are mid-caps and small caps that start to run a bit when liquidity kind of breaks down. Such stocks also go there. In other words, yes, buying in Bitcoin could make you a lot of money. I mean, a lot of people did really well when they got into Bitcoin early, but Bitcoin is already so big that it won't really help you get crazy rich or huge amounts of money that will change your life. The market value is already $2, 0 cents TRN. It's very big. On the other hand, XRP has a very good chance of becoming a multi-trillion-dollar market cap. Another thing is that its price hasn't changed nearly as much as Bitcoin's has in the last 10 years. And it's in the right place to do that. There are a lot of things that are better about it. That's why Jeff Booth will talk about Bitcoin today. But I just want to remind you of these things. Later, I'll talk a little more about these liquidity cycles and when I think they'll happen based on what I'm going to talk about in today's movie. So click the like button. Let's hear what Jeff Booth has to say. It's pretty easy to see this in yourself, I think. If the market is free, prices will fall naturally. We know that to be true because we only use things that give us more value. And in a free market, an entrepreneur needs to make more value in order to stay in business. So if we use things that make us more valuable, a business has to make more valuable things, and that has to lead to deflation. It's true that what you and I are doing reaches a lot of people that a one-man show could not. This is because technology lets you go straight to the people. That's a huge force for making things. It's all over the world. If you live in a free market, that means prices should be going down everywhere. All over should see them fall at that speed. Since other people work for you, you should keep getting richer even if you don't do anything. That's just how things work. We don't live in that market though. Most people don't live in a credit-based system like we do. They believe it is cost-free. That's right, they think it is. So think about this. The world has never really been a free market. We've lived in a control system that looked like a free market. From the control system, a credit-based system can't allow deflation because it's built on debt. I'm not saying this is a bad thing, I'm just saying it's a fact. Because a system based on credit would fall apart totally. Since credit is built on debt, it has to steal the money that should come to you through deflation and inflation in order to keep making more money so that you think prices are going up. You are part of that system, and so is everyone else. Everything they do makes the system stronger. What would it look like if you had a decentralized, safe system that was limited by energy? Bitcoin is the first decentralized, secure system that is limited by energy. If you couldn't change the price, what would it be? and the prices would be just right for the world free market. Everything is going down when compared to Bitcoin. People are changing Bitcoin to paper money to figure out how much it is worth. This makes it look like it's going up. What's really going on, though, is that my house was worth 300 Bitcoin 5 years ago and is now worth 22 Bitcoin. All prices, not just energy, are going down. And Bitcoin is the only thing that will stay free and safe, which you know it will do. Once you really understand it, over time it will change the prices of everything else. Over the past 15 years, Bitcoin's IRR has grown at a rate of 45% per year. It is volatile, yes. That means that if you invest in houses and get an 8% return, you'll lose 37% a year on Bitcoin. You think you're winning, though, because someone else is losing money against houses. It looks like you're winning, but you're really losing. Most people don't get why that will be so confusing. At least that's one way to explain this as an explanation. This is similar to how people in Argentina would feel about their currency losing all of its value. They would ask, why didn't they understand? The US is doing the same thing right now. Then they need to get out of the deal. Bitcoin is the only safe, independent thing out there. I also say I'm not crypto. Aside from that, I believe it would be very hard to understand since protocols are not winner-take-all and the internet is a protocol. They are made up of layers that add more features. The next technology beats the other technology and the winner gets the most. These days, we only see protocols very rarely. So we think in terms of technologies. There is only one internet. You can be on it or not be on it. Bitcoin is the only thing there is. You'll be able to pick whether to be on it or not. You'll be charged more to buy it if you don't pick it. It's getting better over time and there are more and more features. That's what we're putting our money into. We're also spending in. You'd be very motivated if you saw what was going on and the rate of growth around the world. So I want you to think a little more deeply about Blackar's new work with Bitcoin, XRP, HBAR, and a lot of other cryptocurrencies. We've already seen how much BlackRock's and Grayscale's ETFs have pushed the price of Bitcoin up. In a sense, it was the start of this bull run. Bitcoin went from less than $20,000, 0 cents a coin during the bear market, all the way up to $111,000, 0 cents a coin. I see. The vast majority of that price movement was caused by ETFs and huge amounts of money coming in. I want you to think about something now. What do you think will happen when the XRP ETFs are fully cleared and billions of dollars flood into XRP, Solana, and all the other cryptocurrencies? That being said, this is almost certainly going to happen sometime this year. A great deal of people think it will happen in July. Yes, many of you are impatient because the price of XRP hasn't already gone to $10 0 cents or $20 0 cents per coin, and it's already June. But you should think about what has caused Bitcoin's price to move in the first place, right? What made Bitcoin run? From my point of view, these same things are very likely to cause XRP to see some very big price changes as well. That's what I want to happen. I'm waiting for the real acceptance and volley because you know what they say, when the money starts coming in, that's when things start to happen. People are putting their money where their mouth is by investing billions of dollars in XRP. You know, in November and December, we saw that. There were times when we did $40 billion, 0 cents in business in a single day. And yes, I do think that the introduction of ETFs will be the spark.